What's going on, fam? Hope everybody's doing well out there today. So I've got a new brand to the channel here today. So as the title and thumbnail suggest, we've got the Ocaso Solstice today. So first thing you'll notice is the Ocaso comes in a very interesting, very unique box. But this one is special because this is the first collaboration with the guys at Crispy Donut Community. So you can see here you've got the special anodizing on the titanium. So the Ocaso Solstice, it is a full titanium knife, S35VN. We'll go into some of the particulars on the knife here in just a minute, but I do want to go ahead and start off with all of the stuff about their Kickstarter to get that out of the way first, because that is really the most important part of this. So they are running a 15-day Kickstarter for these. It starts on the 29th of April. So the 29th of this month, and it'll run for 15 days. On day one, the first 25 backers can get this for $215, so $215. After that, it's $230 for the rest of the time. Now, these will be $275 retail. So what that really states is, because these, if you aren't aware, so the Ocaso Solstice with the coated Solstice, I believe they run $245. So if you're getting this on the Kickstarter, you're technically saving $15 over the over the standard Solstice and getting the free anno job. So fantastic deal. This is a really wonderful knife. A little bit about this. So this is actually an Andrew Demko design. So yes, the guy who did the 8010, the 8015, the 8020, 8020.5, the shark lock, the triad lock, the famous designer. He designed this little guy. So someone who's known for making very beefy, very overbuilt folders. Can also design a really sleek, really nice gentleman's folder, pen knife, whatever you want to call it. So let's go ahead and jump into the knife itself. We'll do our typical zoom in. So there you can see the Ocaso diamond pivot there, or square, whichever way you want to look at it. And then the anodizing work on this. It is a really nice job here. Then you have the Ocaso branding there on the reversible pocket clip. So this is simply, you just remove that screw, flip the pocket clip, and screw it in from the other side. Taking a look here, the knife is perfectly centered. And you do have a standard liner lock. It does have a 1/4 length titanium backspacer. There you can see that pocket clip again. So it's just an over-the-top folded pocket clip. So they do have the little protectors there between the pocket clip and the titanium. So if you do decide to switch this over, you don't have to worry about having those scuffs on the anodization there. It is a very small pocket clip. It's very stiff as well, but it works pretty doggone good in the pocket. So it's actually pretty impressive. And then, of course, it is, you've got your standard T8 hardware. Got a couple of jumps there on the blade. We'll talk about those in a second. So jumping into the blade. So this is, I do believe they are, from my understanding, and I could be wrong on this, I do believe they are going to offer different blade shapes at some point down the road. But as for right now, they are running, their first run is going to be the Wharncliffe, which I absolutely love this blade shape. I think it's just a wicked, wicked blade shape. You do have a nice fuller here. Again, that super pokey, super pointy Wharncliffe. You got your jimping there, your branding, you got your Solstice on this side. And then S35, these are made in Taiwan, so not China production. So a lot of guys actually hold the Taiwan knives in a little higher regard. So you do have that going for you there. Blade grind looks phenomenal. Very, very even on both sides, very symmetrical. You don't have a ton of sharpening room there, but the plunge grind does terminate pretty quickly, so you do have a bit of a sharpening tool. It's just not as much as what you would see on others, or on some other knives. And taking a look here, our tip grind is spot on. We'll go ahead and we'll also look at one other thing here while we're looking. So you do have some really great access to the liner lock. Just phenomenal access to that liner lock. So that is a very good thing about this design as well. All right, and speaking of, great things about the design, the flipper works fantastically. It's not a very heavy, it's not a heavy blade. And it's got a really good tuned detent, so it rockets out. A fantastic knife. I really can't fault it there. It's basically a square handle, so those always feel really great in the hand. It's a very neutral handle shape, so it is very ergonomic. The pocket clip, you do not feel it because it's got such a low bill there. I mean, you don't feel the pocket clip at all. No real hot spots or anything like that. And the jimping does grab your thumb pretty well. Now, this is not going to be a hard use knife by any means, but with I believe, let's see, a 3.5 inch blade, I believe. We'll check that here in a little bit, but I believe it is a 3.5 inch blade. You do have plenty of cutting power. Now, with it being such a thin blade, such a, kind of like a pen blade, even though it's sharp, I mean, it's definitely sharp, and very pokey, as you can see. It's not going to be super slicey, especially on a coated blade as well. But it's going to be more than sharp enough to handle anything that you throw at a knife like this that it's meant to do. You're going to be able to get it in action on this little guy, even for such a small blade, and being able to just kind of drop, just kind of hydraulic shut it. Just cannot fault the action on these guys. I got to play with the Solstice for the first time at Blade, Texas, and I absolutely fell in love with it. I love the blade shape, and then working with the my friends at the CDC, cannot go wrong there. So fantastic little knife. Now, one thing that's really cool about this knife too, like I said, you do have a 3.5 inch blade there, so you got plenty of reach, and it is a 2.5 ounce. There you go, you can see that 2.5 ounce knife with a 3.5 inch blade. And I believe it is 8 inches overall. We'll go ahead and check that here again just to make sure. So yeah, so it's actually right at a 3.5 inch total blade length and 3.25-ish cutting edge. And then let's see here. It's actually a 7.5 inch knife, not an 8 inch knife. So I misspoke there. So not too shabby, especially for a 2.5 ounce blade. Great pocket clip design, super clean look. Just Demko killed the design, and Ocaso really did well with the execution on this thing. You throw in a little special anodizing, and you got yourself a winner. So again, just to go over the Kickstarter stuff again, it starts on the 29th. Will run for 15 days. The first 25 backers will get it at $215. After that, for the next 15 days, it's $230. And then after that, once it goes through the Kickstarter and goes onto the website, any remaining will be $275 full retail. So yeah, guys, let me know if you have any questions on them. The link to the Kickstarter will be down below. Right now until the 29th, it's literally just the set the reminder thing so you can save it, and it will send you an alert when the Kickstart goes live. But you'll definitely want to keep up on it because those first 25 spots are going to go quick. So you want to be in there. You want to be ready to grab it as soon as it goes live, and save yourself that extra $15. But yeah, I appreciate y'all as always. Thanks to the guys, Drew and Luke there at CDC, for letting me get a little early peek at this guy. And I appreciate you guys as always for subscribing, liking, commenting, doing all the things you do to show support for this channel. And hopefully we'll get to pay you guys back a little bit here very soon. So in the meantime, just remember, when you're out in the real world, be kind, be humble, and be EDC. Y'all take care.